What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live label free. Super pumped. We got a very cool guest joining us all the way from Sweden. So we just sit back, relax, and tune in. She's a registered nutritional therapist and beauty therapist right in my playhouse. Please welcome Alison Bladh. Alison, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you, Dan. It's a pleasure to be here on your wonderful podcast today. Thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome. Well, really quick, I want to say this. So you fell for the charms of a Viking man, and that's why you moved to Sweden. I want to hear a little bit about that story before we get into everything else.
Yeah, the Viking men are quite hard to resist. Long story short, I was a British from origin and was living in London and was out on a girls' night out at Christmas. Lovely evening out in London, and along came this Viking man, and the rest is history, really.
Yeah,
because they can be quite charming, these Viking.
So romantic, though.
Yeah.
So romantic. I love it. That's very
cool. So we commuted between London and Stockholm for over 3 years.
Wow.
and it's it just becomes too much having a long distance relationship. So that's it. That's why I moved to Sweden, but it's a lovely country. I really enjoy living here.
Yeah. Well, I love the story. It gives me hearts in my eyes. All right. So let's get into the registered nutritional therapist and beauty therapist. So I'm all about beauty. And I'm all about nutrition. So what made you go into that line of therapy?
Yeah, great question. I mean, my career journey started as an esthetician, as a beauty therapist. And the reason being, or one of the reasons that stimulated me to study to be a beauty therapist, was that I had very bad skin when I was a teenager. So I went through that real puberty, acne, and that really knocks your self-confidence. And I really didn't want to be taking medication then. Even at that young age, I thought there must be something else. So I became very interested in the skin and hormones and what was actually happening. And then once I decided it was actually really interesting, the skin and hormones, then I studied to become an esthetician.
Yeah.
And then that very soon led me into nutritional therapy, because even though you can work on someone as a beauty therapist and get good results, but there's always that piece missing, and that was the inside bit of what you eat and lifestyle and mindset I work with as well. So that's when I went back to university and studied to be study nutritional science and nutritional therapy, because I'd also seen as I was growing up, all of my female members in my family really suffering through perimenopause and menopause, and it was never spoken about. It was all, oh, I'm just going through the change, let's not talk about that. And being in the beauty industry is predominantly a female based industry, so I used to come in contact with all these midlife ladies that were really suffering and didn't seem to be getting any help or support whatsoever. So that's really what led me into, focusing on supporting this particular group of women and trying really to change the stigma attached to menopause.
Yeah. Well, your skin is beautiful. So obviously you practice what you preach. I'm very much into skincare and, supplementation and keep living a healthy lifestyle. I believe in maintenance. I have done some Botox and I have done some fillers here and there, but it's been like, I don't do it often, but I really believe in like taking in like collagen, eating your fruits and vegetables, and phytoceramides, hyaluronic acid. These are all things that help with the elasticity of your skin. So when you start working with someone, what do you I guess really it depends on what their focus is going to be first, but what does that look like when you take on a client that are dealing with some of these issues?
Yeah, I mean, the clients that come to me, it can be a complete range of issues. I'm very individually tailored to their specific needs, and it can be skin issues, or it can be gut health, mood swings, weight gain. It's very it's a very wide spectrum, but how I work with clients, I work very much on an individual basis. And what we do is we do a full health analysis first. So I get as much information as I can from you to really, I work with a functional medicine model. So really, getting down to what is happening with your body and finding the root causes, and then coming up with a plan of action to really help you improve your health with using nutrition, lifestyle modifications, and mindset. And a key element of what I do is giving you support, because it's all very well me saying, oh, do this, do that, but in actually doing it, it's different matter, isn't it? We all really know what we should do, but we just don't do it.
Yeah, that's true. And so it says here that you support poor, busy midlife women who are stressed, depressed, gain weight, and have lost their confidence, among other things. And so I think a lot of women can, relate to that, because we live in a society where we're constantly busy. What are some quick fix or quick things that they could do if someone's listening right now and say, oh, Alison, I love what you're saying, I'm really struggling. What are some things that they could do just to like get them on track just a little bit, so that they feel like they have some control over their health and their beauty?
One thing, and I know this is very basic, and people are saying that, well, that isn't rocket science, but one thing that we don't do enough of that we should do is drink water.
Yeah,
that is so crucial, and it's such a simple thing to do. And no, not only does that really improve your skin, improves your mental health, your concentration. Our brain is made up of 70% water. So if you're starting to be dehydrated, you can get irritable, you can lack concentration. So really focusing on drinking water. It's a good idea to if you have a jug, like a 1 or 2 litre jug in the fridge, and drink that, then you can actually see how much you're drinking. Because in general, what I see with my clients is that we do not drink enough water. So that is a really basic tip. But also one huge thing to really improve your health is stress management. And that is something that people are sick of hearing about, aren't they? Stress management. But it has such a detrimental effect on your overall health because of the release of stress hormones, cortisol in particular, which really creates havoc in the body. And what's happening in society now is that we're suffering from chronic stress. So your body is constantly releasing these stress hormones. And if weight loss is one of your goals, it's very hard to lose weight when you're constantly stressed, because cortisol is a stress. It doesn't enable you to use fat, stores fat.
Go straight to your middle, right?
Yes. Menopause, perimenopause, right around the tummy area, absolutely. And then eat nourishing foods. I'm very realistic. It certainly doesn't have to be complicated luxury food. It just has to be real food. Try to cut out all the processed, refined, sugary foods that are everywhere really in society, and just eat whole foods, like foods that don't have 20 different ingredients on the back of the package. A chicken, or but pieces of vegetables, salads, fish, all the wonderful things that you can eat that don't have to come in a package. It's more what we say the Mediterranean style diet, with fish, legumes, olive oil, avocados, all the lovely poultry, fruit and vegetables. It doesn't have to be complicated, and the majority of people I work with don't have time. They're overwhelmed and stressed. So it's very easy, quick meals, and always having something in the fridge that you can grab when you're hungry that's a healthy option.
What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live label free. Can we get a round of applause today? Woo! Today I'm excited to announce Manscape launched their Ultra Premium Collection. Believe it or not, it's for your not so private parts. I'm talking about a leveled up hygiene routine with your favorite manly scent. And let me tell you something. Oh, it smells so good. My man wears this every day. This is an all-in-one skin and hair care kit for the everyday man and covers you from head to toe. Manscaped is trusted below the waist. Now trust them with the rest. Join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com and use the code LABELFREE20 for 20% off and free shipping, and enjoy.
So another really good thing, that's very simple, just like drinking water, is breathing.
Yeah.
Breathing.
Well,
So
it
good.
has like if anybody has an Apple Watch, it gives you like their mindfulness. So yesterday I went to the gym and it popped up on my watch and it said time for 1 minute of breathing. And so I did that, and it's just like that felt so much better. I mean, that's part of like doing yoga and stuff too, is just kind of really being mindful of your breath.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's such an easy thing to do if you're starting to feel maybe a bit anxious. If you're at work or wherever you are, just take a few deep breaths. It's amazing how deep breathing helps, because it basically tells your body, that everything's okay. So you can't, it's very hard to become stressed if you're breathing deeply.
Yeah, that's very true. So where can people find you, connect with you, and learn a little bit more about working with you?
The easiest place is to find me on my website, which is alisonbladh.com. On the website, there's lots of free downloads on my resources page. There's a free ebook if your listeners are interested, which is called Regain Your Sparkle. I'm very much about helping midlife women to regain their sparkle. And in that ebook, there's lots of recipes, meal plans, shopping lists, really just to get you going, so you get an idea of what you should be eating. And if any of your listeners would like a complimentary discovery call with me to discuss their health issues anymore, I'm more than happy to do that.
Excellent. You guys, I'm going to put all those links in the show notes, so don't hesitate to go reach out to Alison if you connected with her and you want to learn more and perhaps want to work with her. Go click those links. She's obviously very lovely and has got full of information to help you in this journey, this special journey that we as women go through in our life. So you said a complimentary intro, like a discovery call. And so then if they say, hey, Alison, I love what you have to say, I'm connected to you, what does that look like? Do you have a specific time frame that they would work with you, or do you have like different packages? How does that work for your projected clients or potential clients? There we go.
That would look like, I work with my clients. I mean, some clients I've had for years. It really depends on what your goals are and how long it takes to achieve them. But in general, I work with clients in 12-week packages.
Okay.
And we talk every week. We come up with a health, nutrition, lifestyle plan, and then I give you the support. And this plan is very much tailored towards your individual needs, and taking small steps, changes all the time. And if need be, we would do functional testing and maybe supplementation. It really depends on what the client needs. But, you tell me what your goals are, and then we work to achieve them. So it is, like I say, very individually.
Yeah, and I see you have a lot of different qualifications and certifications through different organizations as a therapist. So you're highly qualified for the things that you do. So I just want to put that out there, you guys. Do you have like a success story that you could share with us so that maybe someone that would be able to relate to it?
Yeah, absolutely. There's many ladies that I've helped. I can take one lady as an example. She came to me, she was mid-40s, quite a high-powered career woman, was feeling terrible. And she didn't actually, which a lot of women don't realize, that she didn't actually realize that she was in perimenopause. She maybe had started to think it was a hormones, but she didn't think that she was old enough to be in perimenopause. Yeah. And she felt terrible. She was overwhelmed, stressed, had started shouting at her family, the typical mood swings of perimenopause. And she'd noticed that the weight around her abdomen, her stomach area. So, she came to me very exhausted and didn't really know what to do. And really, we work through this. I gave her a very individual health plan with very small steps, because dieting, crash diets don't work. We know that that is evidence-based, that just stopping eating or eating very minimal amounts of food doesn't work. So I came up with a plan that she felt would fit into her life of healthy eating. It wasn't restrictive. She never felt hungry. And she gradually started to lose weight. She worked with me for 6 months. After the first 6 weeks, she said to me, I feel like a completely different person. And that was just due to, a lot of it was the fact she needed somebody to talk to. I listened to her and said, you're in perimenopause. This is totally normal that you're having these symptoms. And also the fact that somebody, understood and wasn't going to say to her, okay, you need to do this, you need to do that. We really tailored the program to exactly what she needed. And she started realizing, what was going on with the hormones, eating properly, doing stress management, and really, having a bit of self-compassion and giving to herself that she needed to feel better. Because I think as women, we're very bad about having time out, aren't we? We tend to, we come at the bottom of the list. We don't prioritize ourselves because we have so many other things going on, and we're carers, aren't we? We care for everybody else. So
yeah.
And she felt great. And I still actually contact her now, and she's managed to keep all the weight off. And it's really introducing a lifestyle change.
Yes.
It's ever. It's not just for a few months.
Yeah. Real quick, what are some signs that a woman is in perimenopause? Just in case someone's listening to this and she's in her mid 40s and, is kind of not sure what's going on with her. Can you give some of those, what those symptoms or those signs might be?
Yeah. The classic symptoms of perimenopause are the hot flashes.
Okay.
All of a sudden you get this like wave of heat over your body. Night sweats, wake up in the middle of the night really sweating, brain fog, lack of concentration, irritability, the list goes on, itchy skin, aches and pains in your joints.
Oh, wow.
You can your hair can thin. It's not pleasant, is it? The list.
No, that does not sound fun at all. Like, oh my God.
But I mean, I think there's over 40 different symptoms, but definitely the hot flashes, if you get them, that's a real big sign that you're in perimenopause. And weight gain, of course, around the middle area.
And one more question, and then we're going to start wrapping things up. What happens? Is there something that women can do when those hormones are starting to change, like naturally, to help keep those hormones a little bit more in balance?
Yeah, nutritionally wise, that really is keeping the blood sugar balanced. And by doing that, you stop those like swings in mood and irritability. And it's actually been shown in research that if you eat a diet plan that keeps your blood sugar on more of an even level, you will get less hot flushes. And you also, if you're eating like that, you won't put on as much weight. And blood sugar management really involves getting rid again of all the processed, sugary, refined carbohydrates and eating, whole grain foods and fats and, all the lovely fruits and vegetables that we need. We don't need the packaged sugary foods. So that's really where you can start. And then there's many things, if you want to go down the hormone replacement therapy front, that obviously you would need to talk to a doctor about that. But I would say to my clients, get all the information in front of you and then choose which is best for you.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you for that information. So one more time, where can people find you, reach out to you, and connect with you?
My webpage, www.alisonbladh.com. On there's a resources page where you can download lots of free ebooks. And then I'm active on all social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Alison Bladh. You can find me through that. Yeah.
All this stuff, you guys. So go ahead to those links, check her out. If you connected with her, go send her a message, check out her website and all those free resources, and set up a discovery call if you're interested. So this is part of the show for last words of wisdom or advice. What would you like to leave with the audience today?
I'd like to say that try to embrace this time in your life with positivity. women, as we've become older, we are amazing. We're so wise. We've been through so much in our lives. So really try to embrace it with a positive attitude, and just remember that menopause is a totally natural process. Yeah. It's a natural process, but suffering isn't. So, get the help and support you need so you can thrive through this next phase of your life.
Yeah. Be kind to yourself. I've talked to so many women that are specializing in this phase for other women to help them, guide them through it. And, I think that you just be kind to yourself, because we've got to love ourselves, man, no matter what phase we're in.
Very true. Yes.
Athena agrees. She had to come and make an appearance. Well, Alison, it has been a pleasure talking with you today and sharing what you offer to women. I think that it's amazing, and you definitely informed us with some things and armed some women out there that can potentially help them at this phase of their life. So we appreciate you and everything that you do.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure being on your podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alison. You guys, this is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcasts. Live your best life. You must live label free. Please don't forget to subscribe, follow, like, comment, share, all those good things. And I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.